If God tapped your shoulder, what would you do? This is Sister Dorothea Yasanali Mubugwaka. She is a nun in Kinshasa, the Democratic Republic of Congo. I will tell you her story in a moment, but first a little bit about her world and how she came to face her daunting challenge. Sister Dorothea lives in the poorest nation in the world. The Congo has 64 million inhabitants and is the size of the United States east of the Mississippi River. But although poor in wealth, the land is rich in minerals. Unfortunately, war and lack of infrastructure has kept the nation from realizing its potential. This country possesses natural mineral wealth that may one day prove a blessing, but now presents a curse to its citizens. Vast mineral resources lie beneath the eastern frontier, gold and diamonds among them. However, without roads, bridges, and reliable communications, the rule of law cannot be enforced, and it has become a haven for warlords plundering Congo's wealth at any cost. These criminals organize private armies that enter villages armed with Kalashnikov rifles and machetes and proceed to force the men to work rogue mines with the threat of rape to the women and conscription of children into their ranks. Resistance is met by chopping off hands or sometimes murder. This chaos has led to over 4 million deaths and the world's highest sexual abuse of women and girls. For those with even the most modest of means, the only way out of their misery is to sell everything they have to gain passage on dilapidated riverboats and float down the Congo River, whose navigable portion ends at Kinshasa, the nation's capital. The city offers slightly more safety, but at a cost of social and family structure. The result is the abandonment of children. The fact is, there are thousands of children living on the streets of Kinshasa. This is where we learn about Sister Dorothea. She is a woman who wakes up each day in the middle of a world in despair and resolves to make that world around her a better place. Sister Dorothea awoke in sweat one night with a revelation from God that could not be refused. She was called to care for the orphans of Kinshasa. With nothing more than a house smaller than a modest 2-bedroom American apartment, she was soon caring for over 25 children, most of who were under the age of 10. They were found wandering the streets and sleeping under cars. They were brought by families who, although they loved their children, made the torturous decision to give them up as they could no longer be fed. Sister Dorothea's home was little better, but she offered safety, food, and love for the children. In a country with no social safety net, the welfare of the neediest goes unmet, save for people like Sister Dorothea. There were times she had no food in her cupboard. We saw this ourselves. When she had money, food was carried over a mile to her house. If a child becomes ill, they are literally carried on someone's back the 2 miles to the nearest hospital. Malaria has already taken the life of a child in her home. As disturbing as the situation appears, the children have a better life than before Sister Dorothea took them in. The One Small Step Fund is a 501c3 entity, which was founded by a mother of 6, 2 of whom were adopted from Congo. She saw firsthand what was needed in the orphanages. She visited Kinshasa and made the commitment to identify the ones which could best benefit from a helping hand. Cash aid is first used to improve the children's nutrition and meet medical needs. From there, a plan is set in place to educate the children, with eventually assisting the orphanage to reach a level of self-sustainment before repeating the model elsewhere in Kinshasa. Each and every dollar raised by the One Small Step Fund reaches an orphanage in need. Our board members and friends of the fund travel to and stay in Africa at their own expense. You will be hard-pressed to find any charitable organization with a similar policy and commitment of its members. I stand by these words. My name is Jeffrey Lucan Hartledge. I worked in Congo as a humanitarian pilot and am a board member of One Small Step. We met Sister Dorothea in 2011 on a trip to identify a new orphanage to assist. We found her to be genuine in heart and intent. Of great importance to us is her trustworthiness, honesty, and integrity. Her life is dedicated to the welfare of these children, and given the limitations she faces, has accomplished a Herculean feat. She keeps her eye on the prize of providing for the needs of the children in her care, and not getting distracted by the poverty and corruption that plagues her nation. She understands that raising children to be honest, hard-working adults will provide a long-term structure of stewardship and support for future generations of those in need. In essence, this is what a family does. And hopefully, they will contribute to make fundamental change and offer hope to her nation. We have helped her meet the greatest immediate need, which is daily food and health care for the children. We have now undertaken the next logical step, building a home where the children can live, study, and grow to reach their potential. They now sleep in 2 bedrooms, one each for boys and girls, where they share bunk beds, some 3 to 4 kids in any given bed. Older children need room to study. Younger ones need space just to be kids. One small step has a vision where even an orphanage as poor as Sister Dorothea's can be self-sustaining. You've heard the parable about giving a man a fish and he eats today. Teach a man to fish and he eats every day. Although we provide the fish in the short term, we also provide the fishing pole and lessons to give people the tools and dignity to build a better life on their own. If you feel that same tap on the shoulder that Sister Dorothea did, help us help her. You will never see so little, do so much.